Come with me to the quirkiest vintage store I've ever seen. As you walk up the stairs, there's already things to buy. We've got someone's mum, we've got lots of mirrors and pictures, and we haven't even got in the room yet. Some fabric scraps there. Now here we go. This place was insane. It was bursting at the seams, full to brim. We have a vintage wedding dress there in the corner. It was quite a small space. You have to be careful not to knock anything off. So starting off with the vintage hat, £24, supposedly a vintage blanket, £36. The trouble is with true vintage, it's when it's sold in a store like this, they know the value of things. And then just because of the age, they do add quite a bit more. Do not be shocked if you find real fur, as sadly it was sold a lot in those days. I often find a lot of army wear like these boots, but I do really like the vintage patterns, and especially older style jackets like men's and women's blazers were made of proper material like wool, which doesn't really bobble or wear quite as badly as the new polyesters they use now. It makes me really sad that Debenhams is now vintage. So I thought £44 for this coat is a little bit steep, but I have seen them sold for more. Real sheepskin coats you can expect to pay a fair amount for. However, I have seen them in charity shops between £10 and £20. Here was a really good example of where vintage pricing goes up very quickly. You can spend nearly £100 on a coat quite easily. But to be fair, a lot of these ones were under £70, so I don't think that was too bad. Here's the actual fur coats. They were just under £100. And there was quite a few options of them. There's a whole rail of fur coats. I often see vintage luggage like suitcases and bags in a lot of charity shops, but I'm unsure if they actually sell because a lot of them aren't good quality or very useful. For example, nowadays we like shell suitcases that are actually on 4 wheels, so they're not very practical anymore. I know that odd vintage toy can be worth a lot of money, but averagely they don't really hold their value very well. I think this diesel tin here was up by mistake, but they wanted £5 just for the tin, which I found kind of strange. I know we all have mobile phones now, but it's sad that any kind of phone with a cord is now vintage. I'm not sure if anyone actually uses those vintage TVs anymore. I really liked this photo, don't know who it was, but it looks like Harry Potter. And only yours for £5. Oh, hilarious, apparently it was John Lennon. And then last up, a good set of trains for those train enthusiasts out there. Mostly Hornby.